What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video on the JP side. And in today's video, we are going to be just doing day 2 of the CM. Pretty much just kind of just using it as a chill video for today. Mainly because I am still sick. I don't know if, at least I think I realized it. My voice got kind of deeper, I think it's noticeable. I'm not too sure. But I mean, I think in the JP side I normally keep doing it. I haven't stopped doing day 2, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I think it was only the global side because it was kind of just the same thing, so I didn't want to. And since there's less days in globe, that's the reason why I chose not to do day 2 if I had already made it to the next round. But now that I say that, didn't I think I forgot to post yesterday for global. Oh well, that's my bad. I was more focused on JP. Honestly, I probably thought it was... I could have lost track of the days, maybe, or whatever, but that's my bad. I'll post something tomorrow for sure, though. I'll post something tomorrow for sure. And before you guys wonder, yes, it is Christmas tomorrow. Say that, but I'll explain it a little bit later. But let's just get this started before I start rambling on. So, before we just get started with the races, just to have in the background, just so I can talk about things and go over the comments. If you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join a circle. Then after that, head over to the comment section or the Circle Request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But I hope the mic isn't breaking off, like cutting me off. Doesn't seem like it, but I wouldn't know until after. And yes, I could. There is an option to hear yourself as you record, but I can't. I could do it when editing because I got used to it. But while I'm recording, I don't think I can do that. Plus, it would distract me or bother me more than anything. Oh, I just pressed skip and we won. I didn't mean to press skip. I think that was just force a habit off the training. But what else? I don't know. But yeah, I'm still gonna post tomorrow regardless, because regardless of it being Christmas, if you remember, don't really celebrate holidays. Like celebrate. Like actually have like people over, or I go to a party, Christmas party, whether if it's family related or friends related. No, that hasn't been a thing for years, so it's not really an issue. Will I still see my family? Yes, of course I will, but it doesn't mean I don't have the rest of the day or morning to use that to record. Plus, even before, when I was sick, if you guys are wondering, why don't I just record the gameplay and just post that without me being here because I'm sick? Or why don't I just take a break and just wait till I recover? Well, it's because ever since I was a kid, I never really stopped or chilled just because I was sick. Even as a kid, I mean, my parents, they would send me off to school still. As long as I was still walking and able, they'll let me go with medicine and cough drops, and I'll last the whole day, come back home and repeat. And that was always the norm. I don't think I actually missed school because I got sick. I don't think so. So it kind of just stuck to me. It's like if I'm still walking and able and it's not stopping me from doing what I want to do, then I'm going to do it still. Like I said, it's mainly just a cough, so it's just more bothersome than anything. Will it probably help if I do chill and relax for a bit rather than, you know, record? Maybe. Maybe, but it's not the first time I've recorded feeling under the weather or having a cough, so I'm gonna just keep going with it. I'm gonna just keep going with it. But other than that, I am gonna start going over the comments. That way, it can be a shorter video. I can use that time to rest. But I think, nah, I think that's it. I think that's it. So starting with the comments, with the first comment being from Rick. First one says, I barely won one race with a ticket, so I have made it to Group B finals. Unless I get super lucky later, I don't think I'll make it into Group A finals. But if we're already in round 2, I'm assuming you may have posted this. No, there's no way, because by the time I recorded it, it was already round 2. Yeah, you're just going to Group B finals. It doesn't matter if we win 5 races. We ain't going to Group A unless they change that, and I didn't know about that. Unless they change that and I didn't know about that. It's not a thing, sadly, since it's already round 2. Unless you went into Group A going into round 2, and that's why. And that's what you meant. I think that's what you meant. Because there's no way. I feel like you should have been able to win a few more races or a couple more races if you were in Group B round 2. So I'm assuming you're in Group A round 2 and you've only won one race. Nova says you still got time to pump out some Umas. You do? You do. If you're in Group A, you do. If you really want to push for Group A with possibly better Umas. If not, you still have time, but it would all be on whether you win or not. Which, good luck on that, Rick. And then Tanoki says, post GFF banner still really brutal. I think you're still waiting for Group A, right? First time gonna be huge. Rick hasn't. Huh? I didn't think Rick didn't make it a group. I thought he had made the Group A at least once, but if not, well, hopefully you make there soon. Hopefully. But thank you, Rick. I mean, Nova and Tanoki for replying. There is another comment from Rick, and it says, hope you get better soon. I watched a previous video a few hours ago, and you had already liked the comments, so I decided to skip commenting. Fair enough. I mean, I probably would have still went over it on today's video, but fair enough. But thank you for for that. Spoiler. The get well soon. Normally I do recover within the week, but we'll see how bad it really is. As long as it doesn't get worse than just a cough, as long as I don't get the fever, flu, and all of that, it'll be fine. But I think if I actually do feel like crap because of a flu or fever, you probably won't see me post a video, or I will, but it may or may not have commentary if it's that bad. But we'll see. We'll see. But other than that, thank you, Rick, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Next comments are going to be from Nova. Why do I feel like we won 3 races? Okay, it felt like it, but we only won 2. Managed to squeeze in a group finals comeback after 2 tickets. If it's not obvious already, it's just betweeners walls everywhere. Yeah, there are a few other positions, but mainly betweeners is what I see. I saw some Camp and Vista, but yeah, it's just a massacre. My plan is probably just to do some still in love runs, and then Vivlos runs for fun. The hardest part, which is getting to the finals, is done through. I can relax now. You can. You can if that is your main worry, which it is for the CM. Well, I mean, just getting to the finals. Choosing to worry to get into Group A finals, that's up to you. That's up to you and your situation if you're able to. And in this case, Nova, you are, so I get it. Gonna be pulling in both Stellasora and CZN coming up. Stellasora is actually getting generous with their changes to some monthly income. It's slowly getting their momentum back, and yeah, I'm happy to see its growth. Now with Enfield, people are doom posting gotcha system EOS. Now I can't make any form of concrete judgment yet. The only deal breaker is if the pool economy is worse than I thought. I don't know. Just from what it sounded, how you described the gotcha system was, I don't think it's gonna get any good feedback if it's already getting negative feedback and they're not gonna do any changes. So I'm still gonna play it, probably more for the enjoyment of the game. If I feel like I would enjoy it based on the gameplay, but we'll see. We'll see when that comes out next month. I don't think I ever got sick in the last year since the pandemic. The worst thing that happened during the pandemic was actually the vaccination shots. The side effects left me bedridden, and that felt so much worse than a regular fever. From what I remember from the vaccine shots, all it really did to me was give me a sore arm, where they obviously did the injection, but or the shot. I don't remember feeling terrible after or getting sick after. Just a sore arm every like off the 3 shots I took. So yeah, I don't know. Although I did hear things like people were feeling terrible after it or getting sick or whatever, and also with the sore spot on the arm where they obviously shot it. No. I don't think I felt that way with the shots at all, especially the first one. Wait, my 3DS is gone. I can't find it anymore. It's been a long time since I even played it. Well, luckily enough for me, I usually put away the consoles or older consoles, whether they're handheld or back into a place, whether it's back into their original box if I did manage to keep it, or just away in a drawer or their case, which was stored away also. But for the 3DS that I showed you guys in yesterday's video, that one I periodically, along with I was gonna see if I could reach it. The 2DS XL, I was interchanging between using it over the years, not consistently, but whenever I felt like playing it, because I would have the urge to play Gen 6 Pokemon, which I am. um, Gen 6, and then any other DS games, honestly. But um, yeah, the reason why I still have them around or knew where they were later on is because I was playing them here and there. But there are consoles that I did have or should have still that I know I packed up but don't know where they are. One of them being the Wii, or two of them being the Wii and the Wii U. And then the other one would be the Xbox 360 Gears of War 3 edition that I mentioned earlier this week or last week. But yeah, pretty much just been playing Pokemon whenever I had the opportunity. If you, ooh, you can't see, but like, can I lower the brightness so you guys can see? It's fine. Or maybe. Or maybe. I can just show Pokemon. No. No. But yeah, if you were able to see Frogadier, then there you go. Well, let me turn off my DS now. But I also still have my original 3DS, which was the red one. I swapped out the battery. That one like a week or two ago. Click the skip button again. And remove the decal sticker. I think I mentioned this on it. And I was basically keeping it nice and clean on the top for the most part. There is like obviously cosmetic wear on the spots that weren't covered, but yeah, it's still the original 3DS. As you can see the reflection of the comments on the screen, but yeah, pretty much still nice and clean. Pretty much still nice and clean. And then also some notable mentions since we were talking about the PSP and all that. Same thing. If I wanted to use, it's funny, I do notice that I do have read quite a bit, I guess. But this is the PSP Slim or the PSP 3000. And this is actually one of the limited edition colors from Japan, I believe. I don't have the box. That I for sure feel like I don't have the box. All it really needs is a new battery. But the thing is, between the PSP and the 3DS, or the DS in general, or Game Boy handhelds, or Nintendo handhelds, even though I had a PSP, I know I got this later on, because I did end up getting a PSP Go, because I thought it was cool. You know, slide feature and all that. It pretty much, I feel like this idea basically came from the Sidekick mobile phone, specifically the Sidekick Slide. If you guys remember that, I definitely do. It was actually one of the cooler phones before the iPhone, in my personal opinion. For the iPhone and Android became like the mainstream phones, I guess. And basically, it's just a smaller PSP slide feature with no disk drive. So everything was digital. This was PSP or Sony trying to get ahead of the game. I guess, maybe. I don't know when the PSP Go came out. Don't remember, but that was a long time ago. And I could say the same thing with Nintendo when they made the 3DS, because honestly, was it really 3D? It felt more like a migraine waiting the longer you stared at your screen in 3D, quote unquote. But it is what it is. Congrats on the B finals. Thank you. I wish that I was able to get these wins on round one, but obviously I was mixed in with those who went into Group A. For what it is, I think North Flight has won me majority of the races, so it is what it is. But moving on, what Sally mentioned in the Discord chat about how JP Group A is just mirror matches of the Meta Umas made me think about it a bit more. If you want to get into Group A finals with your favorite Uma, then you do need more luck than usual. It's not impossible, but it's very hard. Well, yeah, the perfect example would be Eugen and his Turbo going into Group A, winning a good amount of Group A's. Whether it's talking about the past or I don't know about recent, but he's definitely still done better than I have. Even with him not really doing much manual training than before. On the other hand, you can beat Group B finals with your favorite Uma as long as you train her competently. True. In the end, both meta and favorite Uma players can get to the finals. I would say that's a fair system because both types of Uma players can reach the finals in the end. What separates them is just some title and some rocks. I mean, yeah, if you think about it, most gacha games with like a PvP system in it would 99% of the time cater towards the whales. I don't know if there is a 1% for non-whales, but or free to plays, but I'm just gonna leave that 1% just in case. Just in case. But it honestly doesn't feel like it. But yeah, most games when there's a PvP system implemented or event that puts you against other players, whether they're whales or not, they most likely obviously will benefit the whales because it's based off on how good your account is. At least in Uma, with depending on how much time and effort you put into your training, especially a specific Uma, for example, your favorite Uma, whoever it is, then it's going to take much more time and effort to try and win against said whales or those with meta characters. I guess is another addition I should add. It'll just take a little bit more effort, but maybe your chances are still a little bit lower because you're not using said meta Uma. I never really cared. I just used whoever, well, one, if it wasn't obvious. I used whoever I managed to the top 3 highest. If not that, that is whatever. It's usually just that or Umas I have trained, so. But for the most part, I mean, I feel like the separation between Group A and Group B was made for that reason. Like, they knew that Group A, yes, it'll be made for the whales / people who put in more time into the game. Those who, you know. And then Group B would be more for those who unfortunately didn't make it into Group A after trying, or for try to cater more or try to help out the free-to-play players a little bit more, even if it's not as much as a winning Group A. I mean, it's still something regardless, which is why I don't mind ending up in Group B majority of the time, and which is why I'm pretty laid back about the CM, because as long as I make it to the finals, I'm pretty much just chilling, as how I feel. Tanoki responded and said, Sally is new. To be fair, there is certainly less variety in Group A. Typically, the lowest and highest end of Group A uses similarly meta formations. The types who consistently make it into Group A with whoever are typically quite fun, though. They are the tiny minority, however. They are a very tiny minority. But thank you, Tanoki, for reply. Next comment from Nova says, or just ye, open and close parentheses, F. Nah. Nah. And also is because they call her brother Senior Yi, or Ye, however you want to say it. So it just doesn't work if they call him that, and they don't call Xiao Guang Senior Yi also. So that's the reason why I feel like Yi wouldn't work, because that is technically what they called her brother. At least that's what they've always called her brother. So no, I'm still just gonna keep calling her Xiao Guang. I'm still just gonna keep calling her Xiao Guang because, oh my, it's way easier than saying the additional Yi open and close parentheses female or Yi female and all that. It's like we're just taking away her name. That's kind of rude. That's kind of rude, in my opinion. Tablet died. Chisa appears. Coincidence? I think not. It's just Chisa breaking through, trying to get into the recording. Imagine. I skipped events before because they were too boring and drags on a lot. I guess I can recall skipping an event in Uwa. It became permanent afterwards, but I didn't do it. If we're talking about Wua and Zenless, I don't think I've willingly, by choice, skipped an event. Although I don't think I've ever skipped an event. If I have, it was mostly during sometime within the first year. But I just don't remember, so I don't think I've ever skipped one. I don't think so. Boring or not. Just if you can get it done in one sitting or in pieces or in multiple sittings, I'm gonna do it. Whether it's boring or not. You know why? Because it's free currency. I guess this should be... Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Even if it's just a little, I mean, it's better than none. Am I right? Or am I wrong? Well, I guess in this case, Nova for you, at the very least. It wouldn't technically matter, because if you reach 0, you already know what you're whipping out. Sorry, I had to Nova. But in cases where free-to-play players, or just Eugen for like Zenless, skipping events is missing out on currency. That's why I say even if it's boring or if it feels too long, don't try to do it in one sitting, and do it in multiple sittings. That way you can still build up and finish the event over time rather than forcing yourself to do it in one sitting. If it's an event you don't like, especially, or you feel bored of it. The motorcycle skin for Lene is pretty neat. I probably will buy it. I mean, you bought furniture in Girls Frontline, so I'm not really impressed with a motorcycle skin because it's just a motorcycle. If it was bundled with her, with if she gets a actual skin, then sure. That was actually a sneeze this time. I feel another one coming. Usually if there's one, sometimes there's a high chance there's another, right? Um, I don't know about how I feel about a motorcycle skin. I didn't even buy Zani's skin and I liked it, so I don't know how I feel about getting a skin just for the vehicle. What they should do is let you customize the vehicle, color-wise at least, to your own liking. That would at least bring some kind of personalization to the account, but it is what it is. Whether they do or not, I don't really care. I'm not gonna see it 70% of the time or more. Oh yeah, definitely more, like 90% of the time. But yeah, I think I'm coughing more because it has been like 30 minutes, but it's okay. We're heading towards the end of the comments. Uh, that Frolova scene was pretty controversial, where the past rover had made a promise to her, yet she lost her memory thereafter, and that's when Frolova ultimately turned to the architect to find her solution. It's not so much she's evil, but just how that Frolova turned out to be was influenced by Rover's disappearance. Now, is Abby evil after the revelation of the final chapter? I'm not sure about that. I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, we could label her as evil because of what happened with Frolova, but at the same time, we can't really blame her because it seems like she was gone for a while, just floating about from what I can recall in the beginning of the game, until she finally descended into the back into the world in Huanglong. I guess one way to kind of, I don't know if they will, but I feel like they will at one point, is eventually explain the lore behind Rover, as in like what led her to want to forget her memories, and you know, at least I feel like they should. It's kind of like in Genshin how we're in a way, I didn't play the recent story, but from what I know, from what I've played up to now, we're kind of trying to find answers about the Traveler, as in because we're trying to look for the ship they came in. Yes, the ship, and all that. So, and then obviously, usually after the main story, they like to um put in like another patch for kind of like a kind of connected to Conria and all that. So maybe, maybe, but we'll see how long that'll take. Right now, we're, I guess, figuring out what she did in the school she attended with, or the same school in Oddcry with Chisa. But other than that, um, Abby being evil. That is a that is one thing to think about because obviously Leviathan knew Abby, literally calling him out by his actual name. And the thing is, Abby doesn't have any recollection, also. So he's kind of like Rover in a way, where they're just going along with it, figuring it out as they go on. But I don't think Abby's evil. If I were to assume something, I would assume that Rover and Abby had the connection prior to the memory loss, which is why during the first interaction with the Threnodian, when Abby first appeared, basically what I'm saying, which is pretty much why Abby appeared out of nowhere, right? So I'm assuming there was some kind of connection between Rover and Abby prior to the memory loss. Like maybe they were already working together. What is Abby truly? Because if the Threnodian is calling out Abby, was Abby a Threnodian? Is Rover technically a Threnodian's? Well, she technically was in the last story, but is Rover technically a resonator for Abby, who may or may not be a Threnodian? I don't know. I don't know. Just a lot of speculation based on that part, I guess. But it is what it is. We'll maybe eventually figure it out. Maybe eventually. Plus, was Abby the only one who heard that? It was weird because obviously Leviathan yelled it out. But no one really questioned it after. So maybe it was just more of a direct line to Abby. I don't know. If I had Ellen since the beginning, I could comment more, but I don't know much about her use. I can't comment on it because it's been a long time since I used her, and because I haven't used her even with her first buff. There's only a couple more comments, or a few more comments, so I'm just gonna let it sit here. And then the last one from Nova: have you ever done a graded rank CM before? This is different from the open league where ranks aren't restricted. Graded rank? That's pretty much the other one, right? The left side one. If it's that one, I've never done it. I've always done the open league. If that's the one that we've been doing the whole time, I've always done the open league since the beginning. So no, I haven't done the graded rank, which I would assume is the opposite of what I'm doing. So no, I don't think so. Because I only ever remember going to the open league. But other than that, thank you, Nova, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Next comment is from... I don't think I've seen you in the comments section before. It looks like you have Kaguya as your profile pic. But it says, waiting for Global Teo Scorpio Cup ASAP. Maybe on Thursday. I'll train Teo for the Scorpio Cup. Who did I even train last time? Was it Aishin Flash? Was it Cap? I don't remember. Let me check. Who did I train last time? I think it was Flash. Or was it a CM video? I don't remember. Oh, I think it was a CM video. So we did train Flash, but I can train Teo for Thursday. Yeah, it's getting worse as the longer this goes. But thank you, Arcs48 or Arcs. Unless there's another name you want me to call you by, let me know down in the comment section, but I appreciate the comment. And then lastly is from Tanoki. Get well soon. Illness during the holiday season always suck. I just think getting sick in general just sucks because the holidays part doesn't necessarily matter too much to me, if I'm being honest, for reasons I've already explained in the past. I think early this video as well. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you to Noki, Arcs, Nova, and Rick for the comments. Appreciate it as always. But if you guys didn't make it this far in the video, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what are your final, I guess, placements. If you guys didn't make it into Group A or Group B finals, let me know down in the comment section down below. Doesn't really matter. I just want to know where you guys end up. And I felt like I was going to mention something else, but kind of lost my train of thought, or just left my thought process. So tomorrow's video, I guess, will be a training video, since it's going to be the break between, actually, you know what? You know what, guys? I think I've decided to maybe just take Christmas off for Uma. Maybe. We'll see what happens. If I record, I record. If not, then ultimately I just decided to just chill. But I feel like I'll still post a video on Christmas regardless because of Wua, which updates later. Pretty much because of Wua. I feel like I'm still uploading a video, so I might feel inclined to record a video, or the global NJP video for Uma regardless. So I'd say there's a 20% chance I'll not record for Christmas Day. But if there's anything else you guys do want to talk about or ask me, as long as appropriate, I'll go over it. Just leave it down in the comment section down below. And if you guys haven't joined our Discord server, link is also in the description. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. Then after that, head over to the comment section or the Circle Requests channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.